Welcome to Kaywon Action Star. I'm glad to have you back here. It is something I appreciate and do not take it for granted. Thank you too for always supporting me by watching, commenting and liking my videos. It really means a lot to me. Alright. So let's get straight to what I have for you today. He was the most lethal assassin. Put him down now. But on that day, he refused to kill a small girl. Do it. This infuriated his operators, so they mercilessly killed his wife in return, forcing him to undertake a venture of revenge that would lead to the murder of an entire organization. The movie opens in Mexico, where Alex Lewis pulls into a hospital parking lot dressed in blue scrubs, blending in like just another staff member. Inside, a fast car pulls up, and two men step out, one of them carrying flowers, to visit his mother. Once in the room, he asks for privacy, and Alex agrees. But things take a dark turn when Alex suddenly wraps a wire around the man's neck, killing him instantly as blood splatters everywhere. The man's helpless mother, lying in her bed, can only watch in horror as her son dies right in front of her. After the deed is done, Alex heads back to his car in Texas, where his handlers confirm the job is finished. But as he reaches for his keys in the car's visor, they're missing. Panic sets in as he checks his pockets, eventually finding the key, but the whole thing leaves him visibly rattled. Meanwhile, in El Paso, Texas, undercover FBI agent Vincent is meeting with a man named Leon, who is pimping out his own daughter, Beatrice. Vincent tries to engage with Beatrice without getting involved in any sexual activity, but she quickly realizes he's wearing a wire. Things escalate as Vincent and Leon wrestle over a gun. When the FBI agents rush in, Leon grabs his daughter and holds a gun to her head. Vincent tries to talk him down, but Leon, desperate to avoid going back to jail, threatens to kill his own daughter. In a desperate move, Beatrice bites her father, giving Vincent the chance to disarm him. They end up falling out of a second-story window, resulting in Leon's death. Beatrice is left angry and traumatized by the entire ordeal. Back in Mexico City, Alex meets with Mauricio to get details on his next assignment, which takes him to El Paso. Even though Alex isn't feeling well, he tries to hide his condition from his bosses, knowing it could be a death sentence if they find out. He hints at wanting to retire, but Mauricio warns him that the bosses won't allow it. Alex comments on the high payout for the job, and Mauricio explains that it's because there are two targets this time. When Mauricio mentions that Alex's brother is in El Paso, Alex senses a veiled threat. Despite feeling uneasy, he keeps his cool and questions whether he's being spied on. Mauricio's response is cryptic, advising Alex to forget about quitting, emphasizing that information is power. Alex travels to El Paso and checks into a hotel under the alias David Marshall. At the hotel bar, a middleman hands Alex a briefcase containing details of his assassination targets, urging him to act quickly. In his room, Alex prepares for his first hit, assembling a silenced pistol and reviewing intel on his target, Ellis Van Camp. Meanwhile, Vincent visits Beatrice at a detention center. She's still upset with him over her father's death, but Vincent tries to explain that her father's actions were wrong. He promises to help her get a special visa to come to the US and brings her a sketchbook and pencils as a small gesture of comfort. Alex then infiltrates Ellis Van Camp's home office, demanding flash drives. When Ellis's daughter interrupts, Alex restrains Ellis until she leaves. Once alone, Alex kills Ellis, takes the flash drives, and leaves. The middleman, relaxing by a pool, receives a text from Alex confirming the successful hit. Vincent and his partner Linda investigate Ellis Van Camp's murder at his home. Vincent speaks with Ellis's wife, Wendy, who didn't contact the local police. She suspects her husband's death was due to a robbery, pointing to the open safe as evidence. Vincent's boss, Noble, arrives with bad news: the task force is being dissolved, and Hugo, a lone agent from Mexico, is returning home. Vincent protests, concerned about their witness, Beatrice, but Noble insists they focus solely on the Van Camp murder. If Vincent wants to help Beatrice secure a visa, he has to do it outside official channels. Reluctantly, Vincent agrees, prioritizing Beatrice despite his frustrations. Alex follows Vincent as he drives Beatrice to a new group home. After Vincent settles her in, Alex breaks into the group home that night. He finds Beatrice's room and shines a light on her face, startling her awake. Seeing her drawings, Alex realizes she's just a child. Beatrice, terrified, pleads for her life, promising to stay silent. Horrified by what he's about to do, Alex quickly leaves. Later, Alex meets with the middleman but unexpectedly attacks him, furious upon realizing one of his targets was a child. Alex declares he won't continue the job. The middleman insists Alex must finish what he started, threatening to report him to their superiors in Mexico. He refuses. The middleman contacts Deanna, informing her that Alex knows about the flash drives and Beatrice and wants him taken out. Meanwhile, in a hotel room, Alex and Maya are together when Alex suddenly starts convulsing and collapses. Maya, thinking he's having a seizure, tries to console him, but Alex fears it might be something much more serious. The next morning, Vincent arrives at the group home to find it turned into a crime scene. Beatrice, the young girl he had vowed to protect, has been brutally murdered, leaving Vincent devastated and consumed with rage. Meanwhile, Alex hears about Beatrice's death and fears he might be connected to it. He asks Maya if they were together all night, and she reassures him, but Alex, wanting to protect her from his dangerous life, abruptly decides to leave. He tells Maya to forget they ever met, leaving her confused and heartbroken. As Hugo prepares to head to Mexico, he's blindsided by the news of Beatrice's murder, realizing the stakes are higher than just an assignment. He decides to stay. Meanwhile, Alex heads to his car but senses something is off. His instincts are spot on, there's a bomb under the car. Just as he discovers it, Maurizio launches an ambush, firing at Alex. Amid the chaos, Maya unexpectedly shows up, reminding Alex about his medication. But the moment turns tragic when Maurizio shoots Maya in the throat, killing her right in front of Alex. Overcome with rage and grief, Alex fights back, eventually knocking Maurizio out. He gently places Maya's body in the trunk and straps Maurizio into the driver's seat. Despite Mauricio's taunts about their bosses coming after Alex, he sarcastically bids farewell before killing Maurizio in a fiery explosion. Later, Vincent meets with Moa to discuss the car bombing, both suspecting its link to the recent string of crimes. Moa promises to keep Vincent updated as they gather more intel. That evening, Hugo meets up with Vincent at a local bar, admitting he couldn't leave because he, Linda, and Vincent were the only ones who truly cared about Beatrice. Hugo insists he can get things done in ways Vincent and Linda can't, operating as a concerned citizen rather than law enforcement. Vincent knows Noble won't approve of Hugo's methods, but Hugo clarifies that he doesn't answer to Noble. Seeing the value in working together, Vincent agrees to team up with Hugo despite the risks. Meanwhile, in a dimly lit gym, Borden is working up a sweat on a treadmill when headlights pierce through the rainy night. A car pulls up, and out steps Alex, gun in hand, ready to exact his revenge. Without hesitation, a shot rings out, and Borden collapses to the ground. Seeking refuge, Alex slips into the basement of an old bakery, where he examines a flash drive on a laptop. The first video shows a tense conversation between Ellis Van Camp and Deanna, filled with veiled threats. But it's the second drive that truly sickens Alex, disturbing images and videos of Deanna and her son, Randy, sexually assaulting Beatrice. Alex finally understands the real motive behind his mission, and it fills him with intense disgust and rage. The next morning, a panicked Randy rushes into his mother Deanna's office. However, Deanna remains unnervingly calm and instructs him to leave El Paso immediately. She has already arranged his escape. Randy will attend a party and then take the company jet to Geneva, Switzerland, where he'll enter rehab to cover up his problems. Meanwhile, at the FBI office, Vincent receives a call from Alex, who reveals that powerful men, including Van Camp and Borden, were involved in harming Beatrice. Although Alex denies killing Beatrice, he insists that those responsible must be brought to justice. That night, Randy is hosting a lavish party on a private yacht, completely unaware that Linda, Hugo, and Vincent are secretly watching. As the night progresses, Randy retreats below deck and pressures a waitress to join him. Things take a dark turn as Randy becomes more aggressive, urging the terrified waitress to undress. Just as she heads to the bathroom, Alex suddenly appears, covering her mouth and instructing her to lock the door. She silently complies, terrified. Meanwhile, Randy, completely oblivious to the danger he's in, lies naked on the bed. Alex moves in, places a pillow over Randy's head, and fires 2 shots, killing him instantly. Vincent and Linda discover Randy's body shortly after. Vincent rushes onto the deck, spotting Alex trying to make his escape. Gun drawn, it leads to a tense standoff. Despite Vincent's attempts to calm things down, Hugo fires at Alex as he speeds away, injuring him. Though Alex manages to escape, he's wounded and desperate as he makes his way back into town. Vincent updates Noble on the situation, revealing Deanna's devastation over Randy's death and identifying Alex as the prime suspect. In a desperate moment, Alex passes out in a stolen Jeep, only to be startled awake by a motorcycle cop. Panicking, Alex accidentally shoots the officer dead and takes refuge in a bakery to tend to his wounds. The next morning, Linda and Vincent learn about the officer's death and suspect Alex. Meanwhile, Hugo searches the bakery but fails to find Alex, who is hiding in the basement, frantically reassembling his gun. With the bakery now their only lead, Linda connects pigeon droppings found in Alex's stolen Jeep to the location. Vincent's team returns to the bakery, narrowly missing Alex as he makes his escape. Detective Moa is stationed at a building where Deanna is under police protection, but a well-timed distraction allows Alex to slip in, taking an officer hostage as he makes his way to Deanna. A shootout ensues, and Alex barely manages to evade capture, escaping to the roof and using a window cleaner's rig to access Deanna's floor. He knocks out Moa but finds himself unable to shoot Deanna when his gun malfunctions. Moa regains consciousness and subdues Alex before he can make another move. Back at the bakery, Linda uncovers a key piece of evidence, the firing pin from Alex's gun. Meanwhile, Alex, now in custody, demands to speak only with Vincent, but Moa refuses. Vincent later receives a flash drive in the mail containing incriminating videos that implicate Randy. Despite this, Vincent's request to move Alex to FBI custody is denied by his boss. Alex, beaten and bruised, ends up in the hospital. Determined to get justice against Deanna for hiring him to kill Ellis and Beatrice, he provides a statement, but Vincent doubts it will have much impact given Alex's condition and the powerful people involved. Alex recalls a phone call that could incriminate Deanna but can't remember where he heard it. Vincent presents the evidence to his boss, who remains skeptical. Meanwhile, Dr. Meyer sneaks into the hospital to kill Alex, but Alex turns the tables and attacks him. El Paso SWAT is called in, and Vincent rushes to the scene. But Alex insists on speaking only with him. Alex tricks Dr. Meyer into switching clothes, leading a sniper to mistakenly shoot the doctor. Alex then jumps into Vincent's SUV, warning him that the people behind Beatrice's murder wanted him dead too, and Vincent might be next. Realizing his time is running out, Alex drops his gun and steps out of the vehicle, only to be gunned down by SWAT. At the same time, Deanna is killed in her mansion, ending her reign of terror. Back at the bar, Linda subtly hints that she helped provide Vincent with an alibi. Later, in the desert, Hugo disposes of incriminating evidence, having completed Alex's mission by taking out Deanna. With his task finished, Hugo drives off into the night, and heads back to Mexico. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you're yet to do so. And also importantly, put your comments down below, and give my video a thumbs up, which is a ray of hope to motivate me. Like and share for others too to enjoy. See you on our next one. Cheers.